Hello lovelies and welcome to Everyday April Day 5. Today I am off for a meeting with work and then we are getting our floors done. Basically last March I think it was, I had a huge asthma attack and ended up being hospitalised, and as a result I ended up missing, I think it was about 6 weeks of work because I literally couldn't even walk upstairs. Like, I was getting out of breath walking around the house, so I couldn't have gone into work. So over the 6 weeks I worked building up basically my ability to breathe. So once I got to a point where I could like do things, and granted not really physical things, but like I could do things, I could walk around without getting out of breath and stuff like that, I went back to work. But in the NHS there's probably a lot of other works, like places of work, they have like a sickness policy. I know it can differ depending on where you work, but the NHS works on a staging system, so if you are sick, I think it's so many times in like so many days in 12 months you go on a stage 1, and then if you are sick again in 12 months you go on a stage 2, and then vice versa. If you're sick again you go on a stage 3, etc. But as you get kind of higher up, there's only like I think 4 stages, and once you get higher up you have to have like official meetings and things, and basically my asthma attack is a year last month, so officially by the end of April I should have come off my stage, but last month unfortunately that viral cough that everyone had, that was going around and everyone was getting it, I ended up getting it and got a chest infection, and I became really unwell. Like, I was in work and I felt fine before I went in, and then literally in the space of 2 hours in the middle of my shift I went from being absolutely fine to not being able to keep anything down, so dizzy, like I'd stand up and the room was spinning, I had a temperature, I felt absolutely awful, so I didn't feel safe to be in work. So I made the decision to go home. I did try and move my shift, but we didn't have, the numbers weren't quite right, so I ended up just having to go home sick. But it turned out, I thought at the time it was like a 24-hour bug and I could just sleep it off and I'd be fine for my next shift in the middle of the week. But as it got to the middle of the week I got worse. I lost my voice, I couldn't breathe properly. So if you don't know, asthmatics do something called a peak flow, which I shall show you mine. So asthmatics do something called a peak flow, and it basically is a good indicator when my lungs aren't working properly. So my kind of normal on that is 400, which is kind of like good for me, and before I went to the doctors it was like 200. So I ended up going to the doctors, managed to get like an emergency appointment, and I ended up with a course of steroids and a course of antibiotics, and was told I can't go back in till at least the Monday. But luckily by the Monday I was feeling better, so I did end up going in. Well, I like resumed, and then my shift wasn't till I think like Thursday or something. But yeah, because of that I have to go in and have a meeting, like an official meeting, just to see if there's anything else work can put in place to stop me getting sick again, to like talk through what happened and why it happened and what have you. But it's basically like a formality, it's nothing to worry about, because I had like a return to work and they were like, it's just a formality, don't worry. So it's 10 o'clock, I've just gotten ready. I haven't had breakfast yet, so I'm kind of a bit hungry, but I'm going to take a fibre one bar to munch on in the car. I'm also wearing my new lipstick from Armani. In person it looks a lot more, I think the brightness is off on my camera slightly. I think I might have knocked it, because in person it's a lot more nudie pink, and on my little flip outy screen it looks very corally, like orangey pink, if that makes sense, but it's not. And I also use some Too Faced eyeshadows for a little bit of something on my eyes for a change. So I'm gonna go have this meeting. I'm gonna get a coffee on the way back. I'm gonna treat myself. So I'm gonna go through the drive-through, the Starbucks drive-through, get a coffee, and that's it. Come home. I need to start editing because I've got day 1 and day 2 of Everyday April to edit, and then a couple of other days because I'm gonna be quite busy tomorrow because I've got a physio appointment in the morning. I'm seeing my auntie, my cousins, and then I've got a hair appointment, like a hair event in the evening. So I'm gonna be pretty busy, and then I'm on nights. So yeah, I need to get going or I'm gonna be late. So I'm all done at work. We just had a basically really quick meeting to say how unfortunate my sickness had been, because basically they printed off my absences, and every single year in March I've had a sickness for the past 3 years. This is my 3rd year with my current place of work. My first one was a work-related injury, so that's kind of like doesn't really count, if that makes sense. Like I wouldn't have had that if I hadn't been in work. And then I had my massive asthma attack last year, and then I had a chest infection this March, which when they looked at like my sickness, I am just shy of coming off my stages. It's just really unfortunate timing. So they basically just said, do we need to put anything in place? Can we help you? Luckily, there was obviously someone there from HR just to make sure if like they needed to do anything or what have you, and it's kind of like a formality at that point. Once you get to a certain stage, you have someone from HR there just to ensure, like if you need like hour changes or anything, like if you need to drop your hours or whatever, they can do that. But basically even the HR girl was like, I've got asthma, I know what it's like, and it was literally just a case of me getting a bad chest infection. But since I had my asthma attack last year, my doctors have basically said I've no longer got just like normal asthma, I've got severe asthma. So like a little cough or cold will go straight to my chest, and I'll end up with a chest infection, and I'll end up really short of breath and things. And when I had my problem last month, I basically was really unsafe to be in work. Like I didn't feel safe to be looking after someone, that's how unsafe I felt. So yeah, they basically just said, hopefully like they can see when I have my point of sickness, I'm not off again till literally the next March. So hopefully by next March I won't be off sick again, because I'd even tried to like move a shift and everything so I didn't have to go off sick. I'd done everything I possibly could to avoid going off sick. So yeah, it is what it is. They said there's nothing to worry about, just obviously try not to go off sick, but if you do have to go off sick, you have to go off sick. But it is what it is. So I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna get a coffee on the way home, go home, see how they're getting on laying the floors, because we're now 11:30, so by the time I get home they will be there So I'll see how they're getting on with laying the floors. I am back from my meeting at work. I ended up having to go out to get some lunch because the people that are doing laying off floor in the living room were supposed to come at 12 and I got home at 12:20. They still hadn't come. They were still on their last job. Apparently they'd ran into a problem. So they were still at their last one, so they hadn't even come yet. And because like they were coming at kind of any time they could arrive, I couldn't sit down and eat, and I didn't want to stand up and eat because I get bad indigestion with that. So I basically decided, me and my little brother went out to get some lunch. So we got something nice to eat for lunch, and then on the way home my mum rung about something about tomorrow because we're supposed to be going out. And then she also said that they now have rung it and said it's going to be between 2 and 4. I have no access to the downstairs at all. Normally I do work in the dining room or on the couch in the living room because my desk is a bit of a mess. My desk's kind of become a bit of a dumping ground. You can see my coffee habit there. But yeah, my desk is a little bit messy at the minute, so I'm gonna do some editing, and then I want to try and get day one edited, and then while that's while day one is exporting, I can do some tidying up here. I've just put YouTube on, so I'm gonna watch some YouTube on my telly while I do some editing. I managed to, I can't remember if I said I needed to rearrange my hair appointment that was supposed to be on Friday because I'm taking my mum to a hospital appointment, and I stupidly thought I'd booked it for the day after the hair appointment. Well, I thought I'd booked my hair appointment because I'm getting another toner and I'm basically getting it cut, so a couple of layers put in, so when I curl it, it's got a bit of like shape to it. And it's not just all one length because my hair tends to drop out curls quite easily, so I like it to have a couple of layers so that when I curl it, it looks a bit layered. And then my fringe is getting cut back in as well because it's gotten, this bit is my fringe, look how long that is, that's way too long. So when I've got my glasses on and things, it just doesn't work. So I managed to rearrange that for the week after, which was really, really kind of Becky. She managed to find a date that we could both do. I did try and get my prescription because I've had a opportunity emailed to me about trying out a new like online glasses place. Like you order it and you can like pick out your favourite frame and what have you. And they just needed my prescription, but I thought I'd been in the past couple of years. But when I went to my opticians to ask for my prescription, like my last one, they refused to give it me because they said it was too old. And I was like, but I'm still using the glasses and they work for me and everything. And they said, yeah, it's too old. You have to come in for an eye test. And I, one, really don't want to pay for an eye test. And two, I'm so busy with nights at the minute. I don't know when I'm going to be able to fit one in. So I'm trying to look for, see if there's anywhere like Specsavers or something that does a free eye test. I thought I'd found one, but because Boots do free eye tests, but it's only free if you buy glasses afterwards, so it's like catch-22. But someone told me Specsavers do free eye tests, so I'm going to see if they're the same, if you have to like buy the glasses and that's when you get a free eye test, or what's going on. But yeah, I think eventually I'm just gonna have to get an eye test because I really want to like be able to work with this company. So yeah, that's the situation. But I am just gonna get some work done and then do some tidying. I'm supposed to be cooking honey chili chicken tonight, but I don't know what's going to happen because if the guys for the floor don't come till 4, they said it's going to take at least 2 hours, and that's putting them, if they don't come till 4, that's like at least 6 o'clock, maybe a bit longer, it depends. So I don't know what's going to happen with dinner because we can't, I can cook, but we can't stand around in the kitchen and just like eat, stood around in the kitchen, and we can't get in the dining room to sit down, and we can't eat dinner in separate bedrooms. That's a bit stupid. And we can't go in the living room if they're fitting the floor. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but yeah, we will figure it out. I am absolutely shattered. I basically we got the floors done, which I will show you tomorrow. We got the floors done, but instead of coming at 12 o'clock like they were supposed to, they didn't come till 4 because of a problem. So they didn't finish till about 7:30 at night. So we basically had to wolf some dinner down. Well, we had to move some furniture around first so that we could sit down and eat. And then we got to like wiping everything down because obviously they'd been cutting the laminate in the house. When I went down there was like a layer of dust everywhere, like even so much so that our bins are covered in dust. Like, it's mad. But we had to wipe everything down, like brush the floor to get up some of the dust, and then we put like the couches and everything back in and the units. And I think I came upstairs, I come up because, as you can tell, I was falling asleep on the couch. But I think my mum was going to put all like the ornaments back and everything like that, and all the like homely touches. I think she was going to put them back while we were in bed because she stays up a bit later normally. But I am exhausted. I need to go to bed. I'm so tired because I've got a physio appointment tomorrow. Well, I've got a pretty busy day tomorrow, and I wanted to get up and edit. Well, I wanted to edit day 2 before, like, well, today, but that hasn't happened because I'm going to bed. I'm so tired. But yeah, I'm going to try and get it done maybe tomorrow before my physio appointment. I was going to get up and do my makeup, but then I think I've got enough time between my physio appointment, as long as it's not too long, I've got enough time between my physio appointment and coming back and doing my makeup before my auntie comes to pick us up. So yeah, I don't know, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's vlog, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye guys.